What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Vault. My name is Money, and today we are doing a new segment here on the channel that I'm kind of trying out a little bit, so hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, I'll probably still do it anyway. But this is going to be a new segment on the channel that I'm going to call What Do You Want Wednesdays? So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys watching at home what you want to see Funko make. It could be a new line, it could be a new type of figure, it could be a new pop from a line that already exists. I want to hear what you guys want Funko to make, and then I'm going to discuss it, share your answers, and then give my thoughts and opinions on what you guys said. So if you guys end up liking this segment, make sure you leave a like on this video down below, because it'll help me gauge if you guys like this or if you don't like it. I want honest feedback. It helps me grow. So to get us started, we have a comment from Social Duck 101 who says, more Endgame or The Last of Us. Now, I have not played The Last of Us, so I can't really talk all that much about that game, but I can talk about Endgame because I think a new wave of Endgame pops would be pretty cool. There are so many characters that they missed, so many moments they could go back and do. For example, off the top of my head, I can think of them doing that Scarlet Witch where she's using her powers against Thanos during that last fight. I would love to see Captain Marvel with the gauntlet, Black Panther with the gauntlet, who else? Hawkeye with the gauntlet. And I think that having Ant-Man with Loki's scepter would be really cool as well. We could have Thanos himself getting snapped away and getting dusted. I think that a new wave of Endgame pops is definitely overdue, and I hope that we get more of them. So this might be my favorite suggestion so far, and I really hope that this comes true. We have a comment from 90 Cupcake who says a 6 or 10 inch glow-in-the-dark Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob SquarePants, and I could not agree more. Earlier this year, I released a video talking about things that I want to see from Funko in 2021, and I talked about characters from SpongeBob, and I completely forgot about the Flying Dutchman. It would be kind of cool if they gave us like a Hot Topic exclusive 6-inch one, and then there was a chase with it where he has the sock on his tail. I think that would be a really cool thing to see. Or maybe even just give us like a glow-in-the-dark chase to give a little bit of rarity to it. But overall, more SpongeBob pops are definitely needed. Next up, Wasatch Pops suggests Nintendo pops, mainly Mario and Donkey Kong. If you think about it, it would be very easy for Funko to just be like, okay, sick, we got the license, now we're going to do Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Waluigi, Wario, Boo, Shy Guy. Like, they could just do like so many characters for each IP. But I don't think that's how I would want a Nintendo license to be handled. I think it should be done just like how Pokemon got started, with leaving 3 or 4 months between each single release, and maybe consider it like a Nintendo like all-star type of thing. Like you get a Mario pop, and then a few months later adding onto that line, then we get Link, and then a few months later, then we get Yoshi, and then we get Kirby. Kind of spread it out a little bit and really hit the main heavy hitters. Next up, we have one from Krudik who writes, Funko needs to capitalize on shiny Pokemon by making them chases. A missed opportunity, in my opinion. And yeah, I most definitely agree. I think that shiny Pokemon could make awesome pops. I think there are going to be some exceptions to that, considering that Pikachu's shiny form is not much different from its base form. Then you have shiny Pokemon like Vaporeon, whose shiny form is completely different. It's purple as opposed to blue. So I think that in certain instances, shiny Pokemon would make for great pops. However, there will be other instances like Pikachu where collectors are going to be like, why is this even a thing? You can't even tell the difference. And I think that's a big issue with the Pokemon license, is that collectors aren't going to be happy with anything that Funko's doing. Jet Funko says not crap. Thanks, Jet. Ortiz Pop Hunter 05 suggests Slash from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, I'm not a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I know little to nothing about it, but from what I looked up, there is no pop of this character yet, and I think that it may be something in the realm of possibility, and here's why. Funko tends to do one TMNT exclusive like every 6 or 7 months or so, with one going to, I believe it's PX Previews in a few months or something like that. And then before that, we had April O'Neil going to Specialty Series, which is like local comic shops and stuff. But I think that the way that they're handling it is great because it keeps those collectors getting things and adding them to their collections, but it also doesn't do like dozens and dozens of variants of the 4 main turtles, you know? So I think that Slash is definitely a possibility. Music by Snowden says Sly Cooper, and I could not agree more. Him and I have discussed Sly Cooper pops on and off for a while now, and I can't believe they haven't done just Sly Cooper. I'm an easy man. I don't need a full line of pops. I mean, put it in that Sony box, and I'll hate the box, but I'd be okay with it. But it's just so crazy to me that with all of these older Sony games getting pops like Twisted Metal, it just is so bizarre to me to see that Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter even haven't gotten pops yet. So I'm really hopeful that in 2021 we see a brand new wave of Sony pops and that Sly Cooper is a part of that. I'm going to read this one from my computer because it's pretty long and I think they're all really great suggestions. So Funko Disney Pop suggests Phineas and Ferb, the Nesquik Bunny, more Alien Remix, and more classic Disney films. And I think each of those things is an incredible suggestion, and we're going to dissect it. So let's start with Phineas and Ferb. I did not watch Phineas and Ferb growing up. I was not that much of a fan of the Disney Channel shows. I know for certain that Danny loved Phineas and Ferb, so I'm sure that if they released a line of pops for that show, she would probably pick some of them up. And the fact that Funko is going back and doing like mid and early 2000s Nickelodeon shows and Cartoon Network shows, it's kind of weird to see that they're not going back and doing that same era with the Disney Channel. Phineas and Ferb is a great example of that. That's So Raven, Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I think if they did pops of all of those shows, they would sell incredibly well because collectors, such as myself, love that nostalgia factor. And I think Phineas and Ferb pops would sell just incredibly well. Now, I got out of the ad icon game, unfortunately. All I have down here is Buzz the Bee. I'm not sure if you guys can see him. But the Nesquik Bunny is another ad icon that I think is like right in front of our faces that like Funko's kind of just looking over to other things. Like we have the toaster from Pop-Tarts, but we don't have the Nesquik Bunny. And like up until now, I've never thought about how the Nesquik Bunny should be an ad icon. So I think that is a great suggestion. More Alien Remixes are a tricky thing because Disney promoted it last year during 2020, and I mean, there was all sorts of merchandise. I think there was like a crock pot with all the different Disney Alien remixes on them. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that exists, or it's a fever dream that I had, and I'm really hoping that I'm not blurring the lines of reality here with that, but I'm not sure if Funko would consider doing more Alien Remix, considering that trend has now sailed now that we're in 2021. I think that for Emerald City this year, we should have gotten an Alien Remix. I can't remember who suggested it, but somebody brought it up here on the channel that there should be at least one of them for Emerald City because the alien's green, and we had no alien Mike Wazowski, for example, so that kind of felt like a perfect storm type of situation. But unfortunately, I think that since it is a new year and that trend has sailed, I don't think it's likely that Funko will do any more Alien remixes. And I agree. I do think that more classic Disney films should get more representation. And I kind of like what Funko is doing is that they're celebrating movies' anniversaries by giving them full lines of pops. So I think that moving forward, that's how Funko should handle it rather than oversaturate the market with like, oh, here's a full wave of Alice in Wonderland, and then here's a full wave of Tarzan, you know? Kind of like make it mean something. So we're going to roll 3 answers all into one big expository here. We have a response from 3 different people who are kind of similar, so I'm going to go ahead and touch on all of them in one shot. So DJ DeSisto24 suggests The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Clown Prince Dira, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, suggested Ed, Edd n Eddy, and then Vinty Stash suggested more Cartoon Network, for example, Billy and Mandy, Ed, Edd n Eddy, and Machu Luchu. That's not what it's called. And Muchu Luchu. And Mucha Lucha. Now, I did not watch Mucha Lucha, so I don't know much about that to comment on it all that much. I did look it up a little bit before I did this video, and I remember it. I remember seeing like commercials for it, but I was never into it much. But The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Ed, Edd n Eddy are must-haves. Just literally give us Grim, Billy, and Mandy, and I'm chilling. I'm cool. If it's a 3-pack, sure. If it's 3 individual commons, I'm all about it. But I don't need a full set. I think just giving us those 3 main characters would be just a well-received success from a majority of collectors. And I also think that Billy would look ridiculous as a pop with that big-ass nose. And I'm not really all too sure how they would really construct that mold. And Ed, Edd n Eddy, I've talked about dozens of times on this channel. I would love to see the entire cast of that show. I'd love to see the Kanker sisters, Ralph, Jimmy, Sarah. I mean, it's just such a stupid show, and that is why so many people love it. And I mean, if they really wanted to, they can go into more intricate moments of the show, like give us the 3 of them with their jawbreakers in their mouths as chases. They could give us Ed having just eaten the mattress, for example, when he has the rock in his shoe. And I think that is the way that they should go with Ed, Edd n Eddy, as opposed to Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, where I think that should be more self-contained in a smaller set. I think Ed, Edd n Eddy they should just go ham on. They should just go full-fledged with it. And I'm really, really hoping that we get it eventually. HD Pop Hunter says, a true artist-inspired collection. Doesn't have to be pops. Feature an artist and let them create 4 to 8 figures. So this is an interesting suggestion, and I don't think I'm totally opposed to it, and I think it could lead to some really awesome designs. Now, this would be, I think, separate from their Spastic Plastic or Fantastic Plastic, whatever it is set. I don't collect it. I don't know anything about it. I think it would be cool to have the artists come in and like design characters, which I think is what HD Pop Hunters is suggesting. And they make characters, and then Funko then produces those characters in a run. I think it would be very similar to the Wetmore Forest, but in this regard, it would be just all brand new characters. And I think that if you made them like really creative and really intricate and like sold them exclusively on the Funko shop, they would retain that exclusivity that I feel the market has been missing recently, give collectors some really cool niche things to collect. Funko Popper 6 suggests Peter Parker with Edith from Spider-Man Far From Home. And yeah, I absolutely agree. It would be a nice, just one-off pop. They did it with Spider-Man Homecoming, where they gave us Peter in the yellow jacket, where it was just one common added on to the rest of the wave. And I really hope that we get more Spider-Man Far From Home pops, because we got that one wave that, in my opinion, was super lackluster, and then we never got anything more from it. And I just want to thank everybody for submitting what they want to see from Funko. I apologize if I didn't share your answer. I got a lot of responses, and I want to keep this video somewhat relatively short. So make sure you guys leave me a comment down below letting me know what your thoughts are on everyone's answers who I shared. And I want to hear from you guys also down below what you want to see from Funko. Make sure you leave me a comment down below letting me know something you want to see from Funko, whether it's a new line, a new license, a new item for an already existing franchise that Funko owns. And if you leave a comment down below, you may actually see your response shared in a video here on the channel. So make sure you guys drop a comment down below letting me know what you want to see from Funko in the future. And like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it with a like down below. And if you want to see more content from me, you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to collect what you love, even when what you love has not yet been turned into a Funko Pop. And as always, guys, I will see you soon.